I was listening to one of Brene Brown's podcast episodes recently, although I think the episode was recorded several years ago. Brene Brown was speaking to actually twins, and their names are Dr. Nagoski and Dr. Nagoski. So they both have authored this book in which involved a lot of research, and they were talking about burnout and self-care. And there was an amazing quote from Dr. Nagoski in the podcast episode, and I will link to the specific podcast episode below. But what she'd said was, the cure for burnout isn't self-care, it's all of us taking care of each other. And self-care requires others to value your well-being at least as highly as you do. For me, as a working mum of two, a social worker and small business owner, this really rang true for me, because I like to think that I do prioritize my own self-care. I go to the gym regularly, I do Zumba class, I do different activities with my family, and I'm very busy in my business, and I am eating a lot healthier now. So I have an amazing dietitian that is supporting me with a nutritious meal plan as well. So I really believe that I was ticking all those self-care boxes, that I am still prioritizing my well-being. And then when I heard this quote, it really made me think about the environments in which we position ourselves in. It could be your home environment, it could be your workplace, it could be your friendship group, it could be your extended family. These are environments that we find ourselves in. And we could be in these environments daily, such as our home and our workplace, and some other environments, such as our extended families, homes, or seeing our friendship groups. These environments we wouldn't tend to be in as regularly. So when I think of this quote by Dr. Nagoski in the podcast, I actually think back to how at different points in my life, the environments in which I've been in may not have been beneficial for my own well-being. So an example could be, if you have a lot of conflict in your home. So if you've got children, they may be regularly fighting amongst each other. You may find that because of the everyday life stresses, and perhaps you're in conflict with your partner. You could have a colleague at work that frequently puts you in a bad mood every time you see them, because there's the difference in personality, or you might just clash. Whatever it may be that causes your environment to cause you additional stress, these are things that impact on your own well-being. So I wanted to break down the part around that self-care requires others to value your well-being at least as highly as you do. And this is very true, particularly in close relationships. So whether it's an intimate relationship with your partner, whether it's a relationship with a really close friend or your children, if you're ticking all those self-care boxes, like I believe that I do. So you're eating healthy, you're getting regular exercise, you're having a break from work and from doing housework. So you're actually having a break where you might be watching your favorite TV show or going for a walk around the block. These things are going for holidays at least once a year, taking a few weeks off from work to actually have a break. So you could be doing all of these things, but then if there's someone in your life or in your environment that isn't prioritizing your self-care in the same way as you are, then you might find that it's undoing some of the amazing strategies you're putting in place to improve your well-being and to promote taking care of yourself. So an example that I can think of is if you are someone that really values some quiet time. So when you get home from work or study, or getting home from dropping the children at school or picking them up from school, and it's really important to you to have about 5 minutes of meditation when you first come in the door, and have a real quiet time just for 5 minutes while you meditate and reflect a little bit on your day. And then you're able to, once you've had that 5 minutes of meditation, then you're happy to continue with your daily tasks. And if that's something that's really valuable to you and that's important to your self care, then you would hope that the others in your environment, whether they're friends that you live with, your partner, your children, would honor that and would give you that 5 minutes of meditation time. So I just encourage you all to think about if there's any adjustments you might need to make to your environment and some of your non-negotiables for your well-being and your self-care, then you may be able to shift things for you. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions or thoughts, I would love to hear from you. Bye for now.